Okay, welcome. Week 4 rankings.
Yeah. So this time, I will certainly be ranking these people, but I'll also be giving my direct thoughts on them personally. That'll be a
Personally,
fun little game to play too. Not all like character or friendship wise.
personally, we
Friendship
need,
wise, I love all of these people on a game level, and from me watching this, oh, there are certain people that I have some very choice words for, and they will be getting them tonight.
oh my god.
So yeah, let me just say at the beginning of this, these are all of our friends, and we love all them dearly. But in the game, I want to murder some of them. I shall verbally do that tonight. Stephen, thoughts?
Yes, agreed.
All right, well then let's just get started. Anthony Hayes, what a great first case.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to think of
Foreshadowing.
I'm trying
Get,
to think of what
get murdered.
I'm trying to think of what things happened this week. Um,
What didn't happen?
you were on you were on we were on FaceTime with like what was it, David and Anthony, and like you were they were explaining their plan, and Scott was just sitting there like,
I was sitting there with my arms folded, staring right at the camera, angry as all hell.
and
And then like they're laughing, and they're like, "Why are you laughing?" I was like,
I
"Oh."
started
And
laughing at him.
they were like, "Okay," and I was like, "No, I'm serious."
What else happened? This is my favorite alliance that just went away. The only good ones in the game.
Yes, amen, amen. Period. Like that.
There are the only good ones in the game.
The
Um,
only good ones in the
well,
game.
that's not totally true. Okay,
Give your rating
hold on. You have to go back from last
on
week.
Mr. Anthony Hayes.
You have to. What about last week? Come on.
Oh yeah, let's see how well that side of the house is ranked.
Oh, Anthony Hayes was at a 7 last week.
Well, wait. Show the little graphy graph of where everyone's at.
This is the graphy graph. Can you see?
Sorry, slide one.
Oh, this one. That's
Yeah.
not.
So currently from last week, James was at the top of the house, and Kate was at the bottom, who did in fact go home, which leaves Juliana as the next victim for the bottom. Um, but
Theoretically,
it certainly changed for me, and because I have some choice words and rankings for some people.
we'll see how it goes. All right. What about Anthony Hayes
Last
last week?
week, where was Anthony
He
Hayes?
had a 7
Anthony
last
Hayes
week.
got sevens from both of us.
Okay.
Or I mm-mm.
All right.
Stephen,
Let me start off. Anthony Hayes, to be fair, against some people in the hero side, maybe it was better if he took them out of the competition. I don't think he should have won the competition. And I don't really like how he acted after he won the competition. Um, yeah, we're not too particularly fond of that whole side of the house saying,
to say the
let's just
least.
do the plan again, which is uh terrible. Um, but honestly, I'm worried for him. Yeah, I'm not just saying this because like some of his moves in the game are starting to bother me, but a lot because it's starting to worry me. I feel like he could be um somewhat of a target coming up soon, especially going into the double eviction, which is coming up soon.
Oh my God, I pray that this man goes out. Anyway,
Okay. Like James has mentioned him, even though he's like, wait, why would I do that? But like, he's not the only one. Like him going against and almost backdooring Juliana this week would have been such a bad move for him. It would have divided that entire group.
I mean detrimental.
It would have been bad. Um, but yes, I am not here to rate him on how his game moves please me or not.
I am. No, I'm
Um,
kidding.
I am here to rate his position going into next week and where he stands now. Um, uh, I think he was sitting pretty last week too, and I don't think this was a good move for him. I I'm not gonna go down too far. I'm gonna go down to a 5.
Okay, my turn for reading. People wonder why I constantly preach how bad season four was. This is why season four is so bad.
Oh my god.
Literally, what these people do, and this is, yes, this applies to Mr. James and Miss Maeve as well. but specifically here is these people make big alliances, keep them all swarmed together, and just pick them off on the other side one at a time. And it's boring as hell to watch. When Anthony won HOH, the first thing they said was, oh, cool, we're just going to do the exact same thing as last week. And everyone just goes along with it. It's boring as hell to watch. I hate watching it. It was dumb for him to win because he has to appease Juliana, who is on the other side, and was thinking of backdooring her. Like, Jesus Christ, what are you thinking? Especially after she won the other HOH, like, stop that. If a backdoor option was open, I don't doubt that Juliana could be on the block and going home, and that he could be going out next. I think people are going after him, and I'm certainly going down in my rating. I'm not saying at a 7 because that would be ridiculous. You do not deserve a 7, Mr. Anthony Hayes. However, it sucks because the season 3 people who are on the bottom don't see that it's the season 4 people
Like, it's their
that are
fault.
winning it. They keep talking about how it's Ross and Bella and all these people. Ross and Bella want to turn on the season 4 people soon. Don't touch them, please. Go after the season 4 people. So, Alex has said he doesn't like how he's running it. So is Ross. So has David has voiced it a little bit, and James said a little bit, and Bella's fine with it. So it's like the wheels are turning for people to start to move towards taking out Hayes, and I don't doubt that the move could be happening. But the thing is, if any of them win HOH next week, I think they'll target Luke first, which does give him another week. I think his rating for me will continue to go down, but for this week, I'm only going to go down to a 6. I mean, now that it's only a 6, but his average is a 5.5.
But the thing is, the season 4 people are trying to make that big alliance, but the season 1 and 2 people, that's not how they play. They're not going to have that.
That's how they play, but it's how they're playing now. It's
But
like you say
that's
how you
not
play,
continue.
then don't play that way.
You can already see people itching to flip, and even Anthony Ventresco just texted his DR like not even a half an hour ago, like should I flip? Like should I do it? So I don't know that this is solid for Juliet going home tomorrow. I'm not convinced, but we shall see on that. So that puts Anthony Hayes at a 5.5 for this. Oh, can we get rid of the slide or put the slide somewhere else? Oh wait, never mind. That puts Anthony Hayes at a 5.5 this week, setting him down from last week.
Downward trend.
Oh my God, you have some very choice words.
Personally, love you. You're playing the game. Love to see it. I want you out though. Go home, please. You're done. You
Okay, all right.
Bye.
All right. Juliet Morgan is next.
It's a 1.
You're giving her a 1.
I'm tempted to.
Well, what was last week? She was pretty high last week. She had
Yeah, pretty high. She had
3.5. 3.5.
Oh, you gave her this? You gave this woman a 4?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
Juliet got a 4 last week from Steven and a 3 from me.
Here's the thing. This is also before the eviction too, so don't judge me yet. Yeah, Juliet, I think, actually did herself more favors when she didn't campaign, because I feel like if she did campaign, she would, or because she didn't campaign, she got more of that GOAT reputation. I feel like she's not on a lot. But the funny thing is, like, when she's in a competition, like, she's here to play. Like, she comes to play, which I guess is, like, not the worst. The plan is for her to go out tomorrow. Like I said, I am not convinced that happens. I think some people like Aaron and Anthony can flip it. What did I give her last week? A 4?
Give her a 4.
But again, she's on the wrong side of the house, and there's a very good chance she can go tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna give her a 2.
All right, Stephen gives Juliet a 2. Yeah, last week I was at a 3. This week it is more likely that she goes home, so I'm certainly going down. But I do agree that it isn't locked in stone. I personally, not gonna lie, would love Juliet to stay this week.
Yeah, me too.
Not because I want Juliet to stick around, but because I'd love to see, and not because I'd love to see Julia go, but I want to see that side go down in numbers. I don't want to see them keep picking off these other side because it's boring as hell to watch. Like, I'm not having a good time watching this. Straight up. So, I'm very upset. I think Juliet likely goes home, but again, not set in stone. I think some great people that I love dearly, actually who have brains would consider it. I'm not saying that it's necessarily the right move, but would consider it and wouldn't blindly follow like the sheeple
Yeah.
that they are, coined by Kate Aaron.
That's what I always say about Erin, is that she always considers all of her options, which I think is very smart of her.
Yes, so I'm going down to a 2 as well for an average of 2 on Juliet.
Okay, that puts Juliet as an average of
Down.
2.
Go down, ma'am.
All right.
I'm not too pleased with many people.
I can tell.
Speaking
Yeah.
up, Julia Flatley. Here we go. We're running through them all.
All right. Julia last week.
Yes, last week Julia Flatley had a. Where is she?
5.5.
I don't even see her on my board. Oh, here she is. Yes, Stephen gave Julia a 6, and I gave Julia a 5.
Yes. I definitely had her higher last week because, she was HOH and she was the one to actually make that move, even if she wasn't the one to come up with it of sending Kate home. It's just disappointing this week. Like, I feel like, I don't know. Like you said, I don't want to see Julia go home because it's Julia, but like, I just want the other side to fall. And like, I loved Julia in season 2 and how far she got and like how she was the underdog. But now that she's not the underdog, she's she doesn't have to fight for it anymore. So she's blindly following, and I don't like that. What was that last week? A 6?
You were at a 6 last week, yeah.
I'm gonna go down to a 4 on Julia. Yeah, I think that's probably good.
Alrighty. Last week I was at a 5. Again, going down on Julia. She's on the block and could quite honestly go home. You would need the votes to flip. I do think one thing that's working in Julia's favor for this is that there are people that do want to flip the vote on her, but I don't think that those people are connected and would necessarily think to reach out to each other to get on the same page. For example, Luke would love to vote out Julia. Erin would love to vote out Julia. I don't see the two of them working together to make this happen. So as much as I'd love to see that side go down in numbers, I'm not necessarily too hopeful that it's going to happen because even like Erin put it out, but then like retracted it, and then Anthony Francesca put it out and then retracted it. I do think if Juliet goes home and Julia stays, the season 3 people are that much more mad because you just voted out Juliet when they said like it's the same argument that they made last week of why Juliet should go home. The other people are now using against them, which is ridiculous and pathetic and sad. So I'm just rambling on about how much I hate the season. I'm gonna go back to Julia.
It can get better, but the thing is, it can go up.
It can go up, and because
I have hope.
And there's reasoning for why it can go up, and we'll get to those people later. But Julia, I am going to go down to a 4 because I think if Julia stays, she's actually in a decent position. That's if she stays, so it's a 4.
All right, so Julia's average this week is a 4.
Go down, ma'am. Thank you.
Has gone down so far. Cool. Who's next?
Juliana, a queen among peasants.
The thing is, if we could rate Juliana on how much we like her in this game,
it's a 10. It's a 10.
Unfortunately, we cannot do that.
Juliana's one of the few people with an actual brain.
So Juliana looks like she was at a 3 last week. Did we both give her a 3, or what happened there?
Yes. Last week, Juliana was at a 3 from both of us.
Okay. Here's the thing. I feel like I called Juliana a lot of names in the last rankings, like stupid and dumb, because she couldn't see that all of her allies were going out right in front of her. But now, like, she's starting to put the pieces together. Thank God. Like, finally. What the hell? It took her so long. Which is actually some credit to her because other people in that alliance still haven't figured it out, which is baffling. Um, so, and she won HOH this week. She knew she needed it, but then like she was fine when she got dethroned. I'm like, what is happening? But anyway, she knew this week that if her side won the veto, they couldn't use it. She was one of the main people to convince Luke that trying to backdoor Bella or Ross wouldn't work this week because they can't name the replacement nominee. I didn't know if they knew that or not. But going into next week, I don't know. I feel like Juliana's still in that same dangerous position unless this. I feel like if this vote flips, it's a different story for her. But if it doesn't, I feel like I don't know. I'm also trying to think of who can win this next HOH, and
It's a new comp. It's totally up in the air.
I'm trying to look at these people. I'm like, I don't know. We'll see. Juliana definitely gained some brains this week, so I will go up. We were at a 3 last week on her.
Yeah.
I think things are looking. I don't want to jinx this, but I think things are looking up for Juliana, and I have some feeling that maybe next week she will still be in the game after the eviction. Hopefully. For being hopeful, I will go up to a 5.
All right, Steven goes up to a 5. I too am hopeful for Juliana. I can't quite go up to a 5 just because exactly what you said. She is still in the dangerous, precarious situation. However, there are a couple things working in her favor. One, she sees she's not under the mist of everything's fine, my allies will stay, like some people are. And she very much is preaching, like, yes, I know we need to make this move, but, like, it's not going to happen this week. We need to win the power, and we need to make the move, not hope that someone else does and leave ourselves vulnerable. So she's finally realized that, which, like, kudos to her. In Wonder Season, she knows what she's doing. And I do think a lot of people this week, because Anthony Hayes, no thanks to David, both tried to flip the backdoor plan onto her instead of the planned one, which was Luke. And people were not too thrilled with that. And if it was Juliana versus Juliet on the block, I think that Juliet could still go home and people want to save Juliana. Because Juliana, like I said in week 1 that she was in the most powerful position in the game. And while she is certainly not there right now, the remains of that are still there, and that she has a lot of connections that people want, like, her allies gone so that they can work with her. And I don't think people are too pressed to get rid of Juliana before a Luke, even before a Grace now, maybe. So I'm also going up to Juliana. I hope that it goes up in the future more. I'm only going to go to a 4 for this week.
Which puts Juliana at a 4.5 this week.
Which, oh my gosh, Juliana Queen go up.
Her highest since week 1.
That's sad.
Yeah. Yeah, just going off of that, it's just like there have been people who have expressed in their diary rooms that they don't want Juliana to go. And I think you're right. I think if she was on the block, there could have been a lot more opposition. Like Ross said it. Erin has said it. I don't know. And I think those are 2 very powerful people. So I would worry that if she were to go up, there could be some backlash from Anthony Hayes or to Anthony Hayes.
Which, in all honesty, like, please bring it on. Backlash him. I don't care.
Arms crossed the end. Okay, Caitlin Powell.
Caitlin Powell. Yeah, we went on an emotional high with Juliana, and now we're back down. So,
where's is this Caitlin Powell? She's at a 5.5?
Yes, Caitlin Powell last week had a 5 from me and a 6 from Steven.
Okay. I'm gathering my thoughts. Okay. Caitlin. Here's the thing. Caitlin is also a relatively big name in this game that I feel like kind of hiding in the shadows is not the worst move for her. I just don't like the side that she's going to end up being on because I just don't like that side in general. But the thing is, she is one of the people that is like, winning comps for her alliance and like making things happen, like is able to make things happen because she's winning. Like she won the Battle of the Block this week. Um, Unfortunately, the more that she does not do anything, I feel like I have to go down. So I give her a 6 last week.
Yeah.
Um, mm, I feel like giving her a 5 is fitting again.
Cool. So
I don't feel
Steven,
like she deserves to go lower than Hayes.
yes. Caitlin is sitting at a 5. I gave K Powell 5 last week, and that was because she was under the direct fire of Kate and Juliana. Kate is now gone, and Juliana has since focused her attention to. Actually, I don't know where Juliana has focused her attention because her alliance is preaching take out
No,
Bella,
it could be Caitlyn still. I think that
but I think Juliana does not want to go for Ross. Definitely does not want
I
to go
think
for
it's
Ross.
Caitlyn. Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
think
it's
she'll go for
Caitlyn.
Bella. I think Juliana is still after Julia and K Pow, in all honesty.
I think so
Um,
too. And I
I
think
was
Ross is going to be delighted to hear that.
Yeah. I was considering going up to a 6 for K Pow, but because I hate their side, I refuse to go up on anyone. So I'm
Really?
staying at 5.
Okay.
Yes, that's how much I hate you. I hate everyone.
You're gonna love seeing this. I think it's
Each and
gonna be
each and every one of you sheeple.
All right, and Caitlyn went down to a 5 from a 5.5. Okay.
Oh, Cavehead, did you go down? Oh, that's so sad. I'm devastated.
Scott's
Emma,
words do not reflect my thoughts. Okay.
no,
Emma.
Cavehead's actually not the worst of the bunch.
No, I don't
She's
think she
just
is.
like pretty bad.
Kate,
Next,
I'm sorry. Emma had a 4.5 average last week.
maybe Emma got a 5 from me and a 4 from Steven.
Emma won her second competition ever. Go Emma.
Yay! The one time we didn't need her to win.
The one time we didn't need her to win a competition, she wins. I feel like there's no more evolving thoughts with Emma this week.
That sentence perfectly sums up Emma. There are no more evolving thoughts.
Like this, I mean, she hasn't changed anything since last week. Also, Rogue was created. Exciting.
Yes, thank God.
But Aaron is saying everything to Anthony, and people are. It's not. I don't think it's gonna end up being well. But okay, Emma. I gave her a 4.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to stay at a 4 this week.
Wonderful.
Much to do.
Emma, you're staying at a 4 for Steven. Yeah, like I said, that phrase, there are no more evolving thoughts, I think perfectly sums it up. Emma has not put in another thing of work to like advance her spot in the game. Some people have said like, Emma, I still trust you, and she's like, yes. So like she's like good at, I guess, responding to people. But if that's the most positive trait I can give Emma right now, it's like
I mean, she's still not on anyone's radar. Not that. I don't know.
not on anyone's radar, but in this section of the game, she's going to be continued to use as a pawn. And then once we get to the later portion of the game, which I do think she will still be there, I think she gets continued to use it a pawn. Again, she's not in any danger. Like, who sends home Emma right now? I don't know. She's on the right side of the house, which is a poopy side of the house, but it's the right one. So I'm staying at my 5 for Emma.
All right, 4.5 for Emma.
Emma, I guess you don't have to go down, but you don't get to go up either.
4.5. Okay.
Alex.
Alex.
Finally, someone like moderately positive to talk about.
Where's Alex?
Less Alex.
Alex finished at a 7 last week.
Yes. I gave him a 6 and you gave him an 8 though.
Interesting. Okay. Alex. I feel like Alex is. I feel like I'm starting to see more and more people talk about Alex. But he knows that this alliance isn't gonna last forever, which is like, thank God. Like, not someone who's just waiting to ride this alliance until the jury starts and then like do nothing. But yeah, I have seen like Juliana was considering putting him up as a replacement nominee if she stayed HOH, which is like out of everyone, that's who you choose, Alex. But I feel like he's like, I don't know. I feel like he's really paranoid, which is not a new thought that I'm coming to. I was at an 8 last week. I don't think he's in any immediate danger. Um, like I think Juliana will be swayed into not evicting Alex. I think he was gonna be the possible replacement nominee because Emma and K-Power are already on the block, and Julia too. So I don't think he's in any immediate danger. Um, ugh. I'm definitely going down. I just don't know to where. For now, I will go down to a 6.
All right, Steven is down to a 6 for Alex. So his overall score is going to go down, but I'm actually going to go up. I'm going to go to a 7 for these reasons. One, last week he was invisible, which I feel like hurt himself in that. That's one of the reasons why Juliana was considering putting him up. She just has not heard a word from him, and no one else did really either. And that's why I got nervous for him, because once you become invisible, you become a pawn, and then once you get to that certain spot, a pawn is just who goes home. So like I was worried he was going on that trajectory. I do think he's gone up since then, and now I think he is starting to he's actively gone out to people and said Hayes is running the show. I don't like how he's talking and running things. Can we do something about this in the near future, please? So that is one thing to his credit, where the people in that group that are actively planning for the next stages of whatever's going to happen, because this group is not going to last much, much, much longer. I pray. I think he is preparing for the next stages, and that's one thing that is positive. And I think he does have a good lane with running it with James, Erin, Maeve, and Anthony Ventresca. So I hope that he's then able to take the next steps to like make that happen instead of just like talking about it. And that's unfortunately what I think Alex is, a lot of talk and not a lot of walk.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go up to a 7 because he's one of the few people that I felt positively about after this week. But his rating still goes down, so
To a 6.5. Still the highest out of everyone right now is a 6.5, which is
don't worry, I'll be going up on some other people.
All right. Let's see. All right, Anthony
Ventresca.
Ventresca.
Another person that I can deal with at the moment.
7. I just like what makes me mad about him is that he thinks he knows everything, which it's like at least Juliana is like oblivious. Like Juliana and Luke are like oblivious sometimes. But Anthony like thinks he knows everything at all times, which is wrong. Because even after the veto competition today, he was like, "Why did nobody listen to my plan of like trying to convince Grace to use the veto so we could put up someone who like why does he just think that'll work? I don't get that." And that kind of made me a little annoyed today. Because Grace wasn't going to use the veto because he convinced her to. Like that doesn't make any sense. Where was I at last week? I'm sorry.
We were both at 7s, and he was at an average of 7.
But going forward, I still don't think that he is going to be on the block and going home soon. The only time I heard his name was when James was like, I don't know if I can trust him anymore. Like, I just watched season 2 and how quickly he backstabbed Julia, which that would be so funny if that happened again. By the way.
Quickly, he backstabbed Julia. He was after her for weeks, but okay.
Well, yeah, you know. That's what he said. But that'd be so funny if he voted her out again. Oh my god, I would laugh. Even though he didn't really vote her out, but you know what I mean. 7. I think that he could be in a very, very, very good spot if him, Erin, and a few others grab the other side and make a big move this week. He could be in a very good position, and I think he's just scared to do it. But I think I'm gonna keep I'm caught between a 6 and a 7. But I think for now, because I see some possible cogs turning, I think for now I will stay at a 7.
Steven stays at a 7. I'm also going to stay at a 7. I think Anthony is in an amazing position because, like, I look at this board. I think he has immediate trust with Hayes, Julia, with Bella, with David, with Aaron, with somewhat James, with Reza, and with Ross. And then those people then expand it to other people to trust him for him. So for that reason, like, I can't go down. Like, a 6 seems too average. Like, I do feel positively about him. And I do think he could go up. But that being said, like, I also think, like, when Aaron put out the idea of possibly flipping it, he was just kind of immediately like, yeah, but it won't work. It was like, well, no, if you thought about it, putting the effort, it might. So, like, think about it and don't just be a sheeple. That's my new favorite term for this group of people, coined by none other than Kate,
Right.
who is now gone. So I'm gonna let it live on here. The sheeple. Anthony Ventresca, don't be a sheep person. Don't be a sheep. Be a shepherd. I hate these analogies.
7 is for
7 is where Anthony's at. Yeah, we're saying exactly where we were.
Okay, yeah. So Anthony stays at a 7. Look at that nice straight yellow line from a 7 all the way since week 2. Cool. Who's next? Bella.
Bella. Bella was at a 7 from me and a 6 from you.
Yeah, it looks like she's at 6.5. 6 from me.
6 from you, 7 from me.
All right. When I was saying, like, some people just like to ride this majority until as far as they can, Bella, I do not think is one of those people. I think she's also itching for something to kind of flip a little bit. I don't know if she flips on Julia. She said she wasn't really working with her a few weeks ago. But I don't know if this is the week that she flips. I pray to God that she just does it. And I worry that season 3 is now coming after her and Ross's neck, which it's so frustrating to see.
So frustrating.
Watching Big Brother 20 over again with, like, the failed alliance. So I feel like Bella is now in as much danger as she was in week 1 going into next week. But I think that if she, like, someone just needs to tell the season 3 people, like, what's going on. Like, it's not that hard. Just, like, someone talk to them, please. I feel like Aaron's going to be the bridge and tell Juliana and something's going to happen. Hopefully things will start to shape up. Bella, I see her in danger, and I think I will go down. What was I? I was at a 7, right? Sorry, I keep
You were at a 6.
I was at a 6?
Yeah. I was at a 7.
You just said the opposite, didn't you?
Mm-mm.
I'm worried for her going into next week, so I will stay at a 6.
All right, Steven stays at a 6. I was at a 7 last week. Season 3 wrong. Season 3, like, rightly understands that it's the house against them, but they wrongly understand that they think it's Bella and Ross at the helm of it all and that they're controlling it. They're not. Ross and Bella are playing extremely smart and are preparing, like, at just the right time when to turn. I think it's interesting because I don't think Ross and Bella. I think they always stick with each other and are each other's number ones, but I don't think they're on the same page. Where I think Bella would want to ride it with, like, James and Alex, and Ross would want to ride it with, like, David and Anthony. Like, I feel like they're on 2 separate pages, but wanting to get to the same place. So I'm interested to see how that's going to play out. That's not
that might be good for both of them if they both take separate routes. And
I hope so. I hope it will be.
That would be amazing.
Because, like, I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see Ross or Bella win this game. They deserve it.
But we'll see.
But yeah, I would say we're far from that point so
Yeah.
far, so we cannot be thinking that yet. The season 3 Alliance does have their guns pointed right at Bella. Luke wanted Bella to go home this week. That's who he was pushing for to be a backdoor. He has no say. But if he does have power and does get a say, I worry for her the most. That being said, I think a lot of people want to keep Bella more than someone like David, who we're going to get to next. I think people want to keep Bella more than they do Ross, or than they do Anthony and Triska. So, like, I do think Bella next to these people stands a good shot, but they are aiming at Bella. So I think she's in a good position, but not as good. I'm going to go down to a 6 as well. And she is doing stuff, which, like, thank you, Bella.
Yeah.
Now, David Fassbender. David.
Wait, let me just.
David.
Bella stays.
Remember
Bella went down to a 6. David is now. Where's David? David was at a 6.5 last week.
Yes, David was at a 6 from me and a 7 from Steven. Let's just remember the point in the season when we were like, how is David at the top? We're done now. We're done. No more. David's no longer at the top. Steven, you go.
I don't know. I just like. He's not someone that I dislike right now, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think that. I feel like he.
Wouldn't be too upset.
What'd you say?
He left. I wouldn't be too upset. I'll get to it. It's for different reasons than Hayes, who I primarily want to leave. But
I don't know. I think he's also someone. There are so many people here that I can name that just want to ride this stupid alliance. Hayes, Julia, K-Pow, like Maeve, like But I don't think.
you.
What?
Said we hate you.
But like I don't think.
Speaking of, for anyone watching this that's in the Dance Biggest Shocker Alliance, when I sent the PSA "I hate you all" text, that wasn't a joke.
Okay.
That was a straight up serious text from me that I hate you all. Continue.
But we love you as friends. But just we get a little serious when we go to Big Brother. But David is someone that I don't see doing that, like riding this. And I these early old school players want to make a move, and I can tell, and it's like so obvious, but they just don't want to do it, and it's like it's so frustrating. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to remind me of my ranking again.
You were at a 7. I was at a 6.
I'm gonna remember this next time. But I feel like a lot of the season 3 people also have their guns pointed at David. Like you said, David could be someone to go home over Bella if they're next to each other. I just like, it's so funny though, because I don't see him as the same threat level as I did when he came into the season still, like, or even at the end of season 1.
I will say that's true.
Like, he's definitely playing, I think, well, I mean, I guess the bar's pretty low, but he's definitely playing a better game than he was in season 1. I guess at the beginning is what I'm trying to say. For right now, I hope David can prove me wrong. I am going down to a 6.
Alrighty. So I'm certain I was at a 6 last week on David. I'm certainly not going up. Certainly not. Because David, now that he's in, like, David came into this season knowing that he was probably playing from the bottom, and he played from the bottom, and he played very smart, and David did that incredibly, and that's why he got such high rankings. Now he's back at a position where he thinks he's at the top, and now he's getting cocky again, and that's what got him in trouble last time, and I see him going down that route. He pushed so hard for Juliana to be backdoor this week when literally no one else wanted it, and everyone was very vocal about they didn't want it. But he still kept pushing and kept having individual conversations and kept pushing it. And people had their own conversations of saying, David's being really annoying about this. He's thinking for himself. They're not pleased with him, and he's pushing too hard. Because of that, I think when season 3 has their guns pointed at Ross, Bella, David, if David is on the block, I think the rest of the House votes him out first. So granted, that does require season 3 winning HOHs and then doing this, but that's not an impossible scenario. And I think David, if they become the HOH, is in trouble. So I'm tempted to go down to a 5 this week. And I'm sitting between a 5 and a 6, and I don't know exactly where, because I look at who has 5s and who has 6s from me. And like K-Pow and Emma, they have 5s. And he's definitely doing more than K-Pow and Emma. But then Hayes has a 6, and I think that Hayes is far, unfortunately, more safe than David. So I'm so torn. I think the only people that are seriously annoyed at David right now are Anthony Ventresca and Aaron. But Aaron's always annoyed at David, so that's not really. I'm going to stay at a 6, but you're walking a fine line, Mr. David.
All right. David is at a 6 this week, going down from a 6.5. He's on a downward trajectory. Then we're at Aaron Donaher, who's
Aaron. Speaking of people that we love,
we were at a 7 last week.
What?
Aaron was at a 7 last week, right?
Aaron was at 7s across the board from us. Aaron Donaher, what an icon is all I have to say about Aaron Donaher.
I still can't believe it. I still can't believe that nobody is after Aaron. Nobody. How is this happening? I'm gonna say this every week until something happens, but I hope nothing does happen, honestly.
Even when something does happen, I don't think it's gonna happen towards Aaron.
There's a lot of people that I would like to see win, but that includes Aaron winning twice. Like, how legendary would that be if Aaron came into the season not wanting to play and wins again as the biggest name in Big Brother history, wins again. That's really far. We're still 17 people left, so that's really far down the line. But she's looking pretty good right now. And thank God she's like, this game is boring. We need to spice it up. Yes, please do something.
I love Aaron in every way, shape, or form. She's incredible. Everyone be like, Aaron, please. Okay, continue.
But I know at the end of the day, she's not going to vote out Julia just to be like, haha, let's shake things up. She's going to vote out Julia if it's best for her game, that is very smart, and I really respect that.
I appreciate that she thinks about it.
Yes, she thinks. There we go.
That's such a simple statement, but why we like Aaron more than these other people is she uses her brain.
Yeah.
Doesn't take a lot to get us to like you.
Do I dare go up to an 8? I think I will. I'm going up to an 8 with Aaron.
I'm going up to an 8. Straight up. Straight up, I'm going up to an 8.
Aaron so much. I just cannot, she doesn't give that many DRs, but when she does, they're so good.
Aaron, right now, of the people that I think have a shot to go, because, if I had to pick a favorite in this moment, I'd pick Juliana. But, Juliana, I love her to death and I want to see her go far, but I worry that her trajectory, even if it's not immediately coming to an end, to the very end, I feel like she has a tough road. Aaron is someone that I feel like I can root for all the way and will be here for a while, fingers crossed. The one thing that could be a downfall is if she pushes too hard on the Julia vote and it doesn't happen. But like I said, Aaron has a brain. And if she sees that it's not going to happen, which I think she has seen, I don't think she's going to push it. And she talks it out with Anthony Ventresca before doing anything. So Aaron, I think is great. I'm up to an 8. People aren't targeting her. People are targeting who they view her side to be, which is Ross, Bella, David, and Emma. But before Aaron gets targeted, I think people target Bella, they target David, they target Ross. And those people that were targeting Aaron, being Bella, being David, being Ross, just made a final 5 with her. So they're not coming after her anytime soon. They're all going to be going after, I hope.
I believe it.
Aaron is literally sitting pretty in the middle. And some of it's being presented to her, but other stuff, she's... Aaron's good at having people put her in alliances, but then thinking about what's best for her and where she wants to go. And I think it's almost ingenious. Erin's amazing. That's all I have to say. Erin goes up to an 8,
And it's
and I
like
think she goes up to
I don't want people to get confused that like we don't like them in the game because they're not doing things that we want them to do. Because Erin a lot of the times does not do things that we would like to have happen. But at least she
At
thinks.
least she thinks, and at least she does stuff. Like all you little sheeper and your little you sheeple in your flock, doing the same thing. Literally, quote, doing the same thing. Boring as hell, and you're gonna lose.
And thank God, Erin, she was like, this season is so much less fun because nothing is happening. I'm like, thank you.
Thank God, like we're not the only ones that notice this. Like,
But
if we were
like
the
I said,
only ones to notice this, I would feel so. Like, at least other people in the game that have played better seasons are validating us and saying that this is
yeah,
a bad one.
it was like in season 4. Like honestly, at this point in season 4, it was very tough to see the light at the end of this tunnel. I really did not have any hope for the season at this point in
At
season
this
4.
point in season 4, it would have been like the double eviction where Joe just got evicted right after Jack got evicted, right after Lexi got evicted, and Colin would be about to be evicted. And then they would turn on Hayes. Hey, let's keep going. Season 4! Turn on Hayes next. It's the only natural trajectory.
Let's see. All right, so Erin moves up from a 5 to a 6 to a 7 to an 8 this week.
Woo! Erin Donaher, we love you.
Yeah,
We love Erin.
I think that Erin. I still don't know what her plan is to get HOH. I don't know what she's gonna do. I'm worried about.
I don't know if she goes for HOH, and I don't think it's smart for her, if I'm being honest. I think Erin needs to get in the way and just kind of keep her voice up so people remember her and keep her included in things. But I don't think Erin, like, I don't. And Erin HOH isn't something that I feel like she needs. What I feel like people that will shake up the game, I don't necessarily think should win, and she's one of them. However, there are some people who will shake up the game, like Ross, who I think should win.
Agreed.
But we'll get to Ross later. For now, the amazing, incredible,
All right.
we love her so much, veto winner herself, Grace Dell.
She was at a 4.5 last week. So
yes, Grace had a 4 from me and a 5 from Steven.
let me just say, this veto drawing this week, like I don't think it could have happened any more perfectly. I think maybe like Juliana get picked over Luke, but like seriously, how did that even happen? Season 3 people were picked. That is
all 3 of them. Thank heavens it happened.
Thank God.
Even then,
We were sitting there with the numbers in the list, and we were like, okay, 2, 7, 12, 4, and 15. Those are the exact numbers. 15 being
how they picked 7, they picked 2, and they picked 12.
Yeah, that was insanity. Okay, so yeah, Grace was someone we were rooting for. Grace played in this competition her last season, which I think gave her. Maybe she knew what she was doing a little more. It changed a little bit, but I think she knew what she was doing a little more. She's really smart. I'm not surprised that she got most of the questions right. The problem with Grace now is that Anthony Ventresca and friends now see her as a bigger threat than they already did.
Yeah.
To be fair, like this is only what her 4th competition win in.
People talk about how much Grace is
a
comp threat, and don't get me wrong, she's very good at the comps when she wants to be. Like, it's very good at them.
Yeah.
But like, she doesn't have a ton of wins to her name.
It only takes one wiki search to notice that James and David and Maeve have the most wins in their season out of everyone here by what, like 6 passing Maeve or passing Grace? Like what? It doesn't make sense.
And not to discredit James and Maeve, but they were also playing against people who did not play in the comps. So like, David's is totally earned, and I'm not more impressive that he wasn't there half the game. But
yeah, definitely.
Anyway,
I'm sorry. I was at a 5 last week. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you were at a 5 last week. I was at a 4.
You were at a 4. Okay. I don't know how much. Let's see. Where did I put everyone else? I also have a good feeling about Grace too. I have a good feeling going into next week. And you know what? Yesterday or 2 days ago, I said I had a good feeling about this eviction. Look what happened. No season 3 person is on the block. Who else did I give? Now she's at least. Oh my God! If she used the veto today, I would have given her like a 2. I would have like literally killed this girl. I think I'm going. I will stay. No, I'm gonna go up to a 6.
Wow. Okay.
I was either a 5 or a 6 for me, but I think that because obviously of like credits for not now realizing that it's everyone against them, which I guess doesn't take that much, but also winning the veto this week and keeping her alliance safe. Good job. But I hope she keeps this upward trend. I hope.
Um, I'm such a big Grace Del Pizzo cheerleader right now. And yes, that is because she won the veto and she kept the nominations the same, just guaranteeing that not another season 3 person gets backdoored this week, which totally would have happened. Amen, bless her. But that being said, because she won, I do think her target is bigger now. And I still think Luke is their primary target going into next week. But I think Grace might be number 2 next to Juliana, depending on who wins. I know David will still be shouting Juliana, but I don't know. Plus, I don't think Grace has the connections that Juliana does. Juliana just naturally talks to more people, which is going to help her. So I'm certainly not going down on Grace. Grace did not go down this week. But I don't know if I can necessarily put her above Juliana yet. So I'm going to stay at my 4.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm making Grace's average a 5.
I
Grace
hope.
to go up. Queen. Yes.
Okay. James Bold. You
Oh
gave
my
him a
God.
9 last week, which was very bold.
Yes,
Bold.
I did.
I gave him a 7.
Yeah.
So he had an average of 8 last week. Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm great. I just can't believe what I'm about to say.
Do you want to go first?
I can go first. James. Okay, so wait, let me preface this. I am so deeply annoyed at, specifically, if you want me to list them off, Hayes, Julia, Caitlin, Emma, but Emma just doesn't really know what's happening. And Maeve. Just because they're riding the let's yay alliance train. We are sheep. Sheep, 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 sheep. I don't know where I was going with that, but we're not making moves. We're boring. James, as much as I hate season 4, and as much as I'd love for his little bubble to pop that he won an easy season, he is literally playing this game flawlessly. It's so annoying. But I have to say, I'm not annoyed at James at all. Because James is another one that's using his brain. He is. I'm not annoyed with James. These words, appreciate them while they're coming out of my mouth. I hope they don't last long, but James is killing it, and it's so annoying. He is actively he knows that it's going to run out soon, that this big group. He knows that not all of season 3 should go and be picked off. I think he certainly does want another week or 2 out of this group, but I think he wants to hold on to Juliana. I think he should hold on to Juliana. He's gathering allies. He's so tight with Bella, so tight with Erin, so tight with Emma, so tight with Alex. Even David and Ross, he's tight enough with so that they're not going to target him first. They have mentioned his name a little bit. It's so impressive. It's so impressive, and it's insane. It's insane. The thought of a 10 did cross my mind. It then went immediately out of my mind. Don't worry, I'm not giving him a 10. Because in order for it to be at a 10, in my opinion, you have to be connected to everyone in some way, shape, or form, have a say in what happens, and no one's coming after you. James isn't fully there because I do think people see that he's in a good spot and do want to take him out. David and Ross both said Bull's guard is down. He's in a good spot, but I think they target Hayes first. But he's not safe with them yet. I'm actually kind of rooting for James to go super far and prove that he
Definitely, yeah. I agree with that.
He is a great player because listen, James is an amazing player. as boring as he makes seasons of just big groups against each other, he is an amazing player. I'm going to stay at my 9.
Okay, interesting. I do really like how well he is working with Aaron and how they're proposing this new alliance of Aaron, Ventresca, James, Maeve, and who's it, Alex?
Uh-huh.
Why? Do you have grievances with this?
What? Oh, no. This is
I
me.
thought you were like-
I might have a new thought, then it might change my ranking.
So I do really like this, and I think he's setting himself up well. I was at a 7 last week, but I still think Alex has his eyes out for him. I do not think that it's fully gone away.
I agree, but now Alex's voice, like, everyone's looking at Hayes more, which is exactly what happened in season 4.
I think it only takes a couple of people to compare notes. Like I feel like he's walking very thin before he falls fast. But that being said, I don't know if people do compare notes. I feel like if I gave Aaron an 8, I feel like James also deserves an 8. I will go to an 8.
Okay. Yeah, I actually want to add some stuff here.
Yeah.
One, I do agree that it only is going to take a couple of people to compare notes. But, like, even now, like, people are lightly comparing notes. Alex has told Bella how much he talks to and trusts James. And Bella goes, "That's so great. I do too." Why is your thought not James is talking to everyone? Like, that's
I don't see him winning though. I don't.
I agree. I don't see him winning the season because I think
I don't know what that means then.
Currently, right now, I think he's in an amazing spot. I do think as the numbers dwindle, like, that's when it will register in people's minds that James can't go further. But we're not even close to that point yet.
Yeah.
And I do think that, like, yes, he's walking a fine line, and we can theorize all we want about how it's going to blow up soon, but, like, there has been no evidence that it is going to blow up soon. So, like, even though it could in the turn of a dime, there's nothing that I can see that it's going to. The one thing I will say that I worry about, Juliana approached James saying, "Last week, you said we need to keep Juliet. There's no reason not to keep Juliet. She's not doing anything. That's why Kate needs to go, because Juliet is easy to just keep around." Juliana, right after the veto meeting, goes, "James, guess what? Last week, you said there's no reason to get rid of Juliet. Juliet to stick around. So you are going to vote out Julia, correct?" And James is like, "Well, we need to think out the thing." If Juliana sees that James voted out Juliet after voting out Kate last week, Juliana will be pissed. And I'm hoping that that's the straw that tells her season 4 is running it. So James needs to play. It hasn't happened yet, so I'm not going to change my rating or factor it in. But going into the next rating, like, how he plays off this vote, for many people, this vote is non-consequential. For James, it is. And I don't know if he realizes how consequential this vote could be for him.
And also,
it might be smarter for him almost to, like, just vote out Julia and know that the numbers will vote out Julia. Like, you know? Like,
yeah. And just deny the vote or something.
And just deny the vote, but, like, tell Julia, like,
something. He needs to figure out something.
Not after you this week.
Another red flag also should have been Grace went to James saying that she wasn't going to use the veto. James went to Juliana saying that she wasn't going to use the veto. Juliana went to the LARPers saying Grace isn't going to use the veto. Alex goes, "How do you know that?" She goes, "James told me." That should have been a red flag for Alex. Why is okay.
Yeah, if people just open their eyes up a little more to how much people just mention that, "Oh, I heard from James. Oh, I talked to James. Oh, I trust James." Like, what? Yeah. For now, I guess it's fine of, like, "Oh, great, I do too. Let's form something." But, like, down the line, it needs, like, people need to start saying down the line this isn't good.
Yeah.
And so far, no one said that, and it's scary.
And it looks like our graph shifted up. What?
8.5 is the highest anyone's
been. It looks like the graph has shifted up as James is the first player to go above 8. Okay. And then moving on to the opposite side of the spectrum is
Luke Alamri. What an idiot.
Where
What
was
an
Luke
idiot.
at? Luke was at
Literally,
a 3.5.
he was at a
3.5.
3 from me and a 4 from you. No, literally all he preaches is my allies go home, but my social game's
Okay,
great.
okay. I'm first.
Okay,
Um,
you go first, but like, listen, Luke, you're not getting positive remarks from me.
I'm so glad that Juliana and Grace and Reza convinced him that he can't name the replacement nominee. Why does he think Hayes is working with him? I don't understand what's happening anymore. Luke, what are you doing? I'm so glad you didn't win the veto today. Thank God. I was at a 4. I need to go down. I literally cannot with this kid.
Yeah.
I literally cannot. Let's see who I gave everyone else. All right, he's definitely. This is kind of questionable. Let me check again. I wanted to say he's definitely in a better spot than Juliet right now, but I don't even know if that's true.
I don't even know if that's true.
I think what could very well happen is Luke goes home either this week or next, or sorry, next week, you know what I mean, in the next few weeks, and then Juliana and Grace survive and Reza survive and build back. But I think Luke could be the first casualty. I am gonna actually put Luke at a 2 this week.
Wow.
I simply cannot with this kid.
Yes, I'm so fed up with Luke. If nothing for the reason of he was like, no, we have to win the veto and we have to use it to take out the other side. And it's like, Luke, you're not the HOH. You don't decide who goes up. What makes you think that people will just listen to you after all of your allies have gone home? What makes you think that? You do not have a good social game. No one on the other side wants to keep you. It's either they want you out or they want someone else out and then they want you out. Like, no one is saying, let's keep Luke around. No one's saying that. No one. Zero. Zero people. Except for Juliana. But she's your ally and that doesn't count. No one else is saying, let's keep Luke around. That's bad. That's a bad social game. Okay? Bad. Bad. If he doesn't go, like, listen, if the other side wins HOH again, it'll be an utter miracle if he stays, unless it's David who will target Juliana. If literally anyone from that side wins HOH again,
We'll see. I still hoping for a shakeup, but we'll see.
I'm not gonna lie. As much as I want the other side to crumble and fall, and for season 3 to rise up and fit themselves in the cracks, unfortunately, I think Luke has to go before that happens.
Interesting.
Because everyone that wants to turn on the big group, aka David, Ross, Aaron, Anthony Ventresca, don't trust Luke. They don't trust Luke. They want Luke out. So I think, and I somewhat hope, that they get their way next week and Luke goes home, if it means that they will work with Juliana to then take out the other people. I don't know, like, now I worry that Grace is too big of a threat and they won't work with her. Like, Aaron and Anthony, I don't think will work with Grace. And like that's what's so sad.
Next eviction is eviction number 5. Luke's famous eviction where he went home in season 1. So we'll see.
I think that Luke's days are very, very numbered.
We shall see. So what's your ranking?
You can hope for a shakeup. I'm gonna stay at a 3 just for the sole purpose he's not on a block, but like I don't see a situation where that ever goes up. On to this sheeple.
Whoa. Okay. Yes, Luke has gone down. Okay. All right. Maeve was, where's Maeve? Maeve was, wow, is that Maeve? No, that's not Maeve. Maeve was at a 6 last week.
Yes, Maeve got 6s across the board.
All right. Maeve. We love Maeve because she sends in all of her recordings on time. She does them well. She sends in a lot of DRs. She had the most DRs in one of the episodes.
Just really random. She wasn't
Last
HOH.
episode, she was not HOH. I guess she won the Battle of the Block, but that was it. Um,
I will say that she's the best of the sheeple.
the best sheep. I'm sorry. Did you say where Maeve? Well, I'm sorry. What did we each give
Gave
her?
her 6s across the board.
We both gave her 6s. Okay. Let me look at her line. So she started at a 5, and she went to a 5.5, and then a 6. I don't think she deserves to keep going up. I mean, I don't have much comment here. I think this is the same to be said for everyone else that we talked about so far. I'm gonna give her a 5 this week.
Alrighty, Stephen moves on to a 5. Listen, like the more I think about it, yes, I'm very, very annoyed with Hayes, Julia, Caitlin, Maeve, specifically. But for them, targeting the season 3 people is smart because the season 3 people, or I won't necessarily for Hayes, but the season 3 people were coming after them, so it is smart for them to win HOHs to target them. I won't deny that. They're not dumb players, but just like they're not thinking ahead, which is why I'm annoyed. I think even when the season 3, like I think they continue to ride it, which is why I'm annoyed. So don't get me wrong. I want to disclaimer that I think they made the right decisions for their game in the moment, but I don't think they're thinking ahead. Maeve is someone that I also do not think is thinking ahead quite as much, but I do think she's being included in the plans of those who are thinking ahead, aka James, Aaron, Alex, who have all said Maeve will keep around. I will also say that it is very hard to make a move like backdooring Dan and then at the end of the following week have no one talking about you as a target still.
That is pretty impressive.
I like Juliana, who was fed up with Maeve. Grace, who was fed up with Maeve. Don't want to go after Maeve now. So I can't go up because, like, again, she hasn't done anything to warrant her going up to a 7, which I think is like the good scores. But she's certainly like I don't think she's gone down because I do think she is still in a decent spot. So I'm gonna keep her at her 6, which I think is just like the nice.
Okay.
You're nice and average for now score. 5.5 for Maeve. And yes, Maeve, we do appreciate so much your amount of good diary rooms and your recordings on time.
Yes.
And we appreciate that so dearly. And Hayes also sends them in, but like you can go. Sorry, literally, again, emphasizing we love and appreciate all of you.
Yes.
You too, Hayes. You too. Just remember when we said in the rankings how much we were like, yes, Hayes is amazing. Remember those moments.
Yeah.
Go back to that place. I'm sorry.
Or just get better again, you know.
I'm very sorry.
I have to say I do have a bias for people that have to play from the bottom. I feel like that's just more entertaining.
I absolutely do.
And I
think
think
more entertaining.
I think most people play better from the bottom too. Like
yes, absolutely. Like I wouldn't mind see someone like try to backdoor Hayes.
And then he comes, yeah.
And then Hayes realizes that he needs to play from the bottom. Like that, fine. Just don't be rude.
They're all getting too cocky, and it's kind of
yes. Cocky is what bothers me. And David's getting there, and Hayes is there. And I think why I'm not so annoyed with James is because James like
backs it up.
He might be cocky, but he doesn't show it.
And he backs it up too.
And he backs it up.
Okay, so we are at Reza now. Who was at a 4 last week.
Yes. Reza was at a 4 from both of us, I think. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like Reza is now starting to use his head a little more going in. Like, he knew that Luke's plan was stupid. He was really close in the veto today, too. He got, what, 235?
Yeah,
That
235, and I think
that
he's
is
going to have a really
great.
good shot in this next head of household.
That was yeah. I think well, will they know what? Yeah, they will. So this is the they'll have seen this competition already. This is the
It's called Get a Clue. Yeah.
yeah, okay. This is like the logic puzzle. I'm trying to look at these people and think Hayes can't compete,
I think for the heroes, it's going to come down to Ross and Reza.
which would be very exciting. Two very
I
exciting.
think either of them are exciting winners. For
The
the villain,
villains?
it could be a slew. It could also be, for the heroes, it could also be Grace. Grace is very smart. And so is Aaron, but I don't think Aaron wants to win.
I don't think yeah, and I don't think Erin is like Erin's very smart, but she doesn't give me like logic puzzle vibes. Grace definitely does,
I think heroes is Grace, Reza, Ross. I think it's going to be one of those
which is
three.
great.
Maybe K-Pow, in all honesty. I don't know if K-Pow wants to win. She didn't want to win the first time.
I'm trying to look at. Let me see for the villains. Juliana, I don't think. I don't think. Ventresca, I don't think. Bella, you know what? Bella could surprise you.
Bella could, but Bella has also said she doesn't want to win, and I don't know if she should.
David, I don't know. And wait, hold on. This is kind of like a technical issue. I think we should have two separate puzzles for each. But we'll talk about that later.
Heroes and the villains. Okay.
Um, and I'm looking at the rest of these villains, like who could win? I guess Maeve might win.
I don't know if, and here's the thing. I don't know if any of the villains want to win, which might be exactly what Luke and Juliana need to pull out a win.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Luke keeps winning, but it's like they keep throwing the cup. So
Yeah, exactly. Okay, anyway, on to Reza. I think Reza has a great shot in this next stage. He did like. I don't know if Reza was necessarily oblivious. I feel like he definitely was, but I feel like he just definitely was like not really like participating a lot. I feel like we're gonna start seeing a lot more of Reza coming up on like the end of the semester, and like I feel like I can feel him turning season 3 back on, which I loved Reza in season 3, so I'm very excited. I think I have hope. Like you said, I think that the two main targets that are probable to go home from that side are Luke and Grace. So I have hope for Reza. I am going to move up to a 5.
yes. I agree with so much of that. I think definitely, like, I think it is very, 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 very unlikely that Juliana, Luke, Grace, and Reza all go home before the alliance turns on each other. I think that's so unlikely. And I think that of those four, I think Reza, not even close, has the best shot to make it to that point when they do turn on each other, where I think he all of a sudden becomes a huge asset to everyone. Reza is someone that also thrives, I think, in the environment of lesser people when he doesn't have to put in the work to reach out to everyone and everyone and everyone. And I think that Reza's key position is going to come in, and I think this is, in all honesty, exactly where he wanted to be. Is be in that position where once the main group turns on each other and they need someone to pick up, that they'll be like, oh, we can pick up Reza, he doesn't do anything. But that's what happened in season 3, and he lost by only 1 vote.
That's the thing. Like, everyone's like, oh, Juliana's this huge threat. She already won. She's won before. Reza lost by 1 vote. Reza could have been in that position. And granted, like season 4 was a little more crapshooty with the final votes. I think people were just choosing between James and Maeve. But like Reza and Juliana played 2 very different games, and Reza was very close. So I think people are not giving him not that they're not giving him enough credit, but I don't think they're seeing very much that what a good player he is. And he easily what?
People just forget he's doing the same thing he did last time.
And like if he evicted Juliana and took Riley to the end, he wins probably 9-0. Or close. Very close.
I don't think it's 9-0. I think Rocco is bitter as all hell,
but yeah, he easily one better decision on finale night, he could have been the winner right now. but that's a different story.
Yeah. I do have hope for him. I'm not gonna lie, going up on Reza because they are still in the precarious position feels a little weird.
Well,
But
you
I
were at a
don't.
5 already, weren't you?
No, I was at a 4.
Oh, was I at a 4?
Um,
Oh no, we were both at 4s. Yeah.
yeah, we were the 4s. It feels a little weird to me, but by that same token, I do think Luke is a very solid 3, edging on 2. I think Juliana and Grace are solid 4s, edging on 3s. And because I think Reza is definitely a step above Juliana and Grace, and he is starting to come out of his own, I am gonna move him up to a 5 as well. One thing that I just like I need to see from Reza, and I think we will get it eventually, and I hope it just happens soon enough. We need to see him start talking to more people more
Yeah.
consistently. And again, I do think it'll happen at some point. I'm just hoping it happens like soon.
We have a little bit of a roller coaster here with Reza. We have 4, 5.5, 4, 5. So, and finally on to Ross, who finished last week with a 6.
Listen, before we get to the rank,
Was it 6 from
praise Ross again for like these people that have brains. I don't care if they end up going with the majority. At least you're thinking about doing something.
Yeah.
Like thank God for Ross. Because I do think at some point, like Ross, one thing, and I know I don't usually go first, but I'm gonna start talking. I won't get my ranking yet, but Ross, I think in his season 1 game, and I think Ross in his season 1 game had that majority alliance that he trusted, and as soon as he backdoored Niall and then Luke and Victoria followed out, I think that his confidence went up and he just kind of was in the mindset of we're riding this to the end, and then he got turned on and he went home. Season 2, I think he did the same thing, but he kept a lower profile. I think this season, after playing twice and then also watching a season of Big Brother, is now very, very, very much in the mindset of you have to strike first because someone is going to strike. The major alliance, unless you're from season 4, never makes it to the end. And I think he knows and he realizes that, and the wheels are turning on when is the best time to strike, and he will. I know he will. I don't necessarily know or care if it's happening next week, the week after, the double eviction, which I think might be the time. I'm just hoping and praying, and I think that he is much smarter. That being said, we'll get to our ratings now. Stephen, go first.
We both gave him 6s last week, correct?
Yes.
I don't think he does. I don't know if he goes up or down or either. It's hard because I feel like this was another week where not much happened, but I feel like he always talks to David. I'm sure he talks to Bella all the time about this, but when we're not in chats or something. But like it is what it is. I just like. Luke, no, it wasn't Luke. It was Grace. Grace made a really funny comment today. It was like, if we had to choose between going for Ross or Bella, I would go for Bella because if we went for Ross, Bella is way scarier and would come back with such a vengeance if we got rid of Ross, which I think is so funny.
I think it's also kind of true.
It is true. I feel like, sorry, Bella, but I feel like if you went home, Ross would be
mad and want vengeance, and I think would go for vengeance, but
like,
wouldn't.
quietly.
You better watch out.
Quietly.
Like Ross would play quietly and would play the long game.
Yeah. Ross isn't like, I'm not going to do it right now out loud. I'm going to wait until the end.
I'm going to wait for the right moment too.
Yeah,
but
yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I feel like going lower than a 6 on Ross is incorrect. I don't think I like that. But like I feel like he is in so much danger. And Ross versus Bella, I think he goes home actually, even if they don't want that. I will keep him with Bella. I'm gonna say a 6.
Yes. I agree. I think that Ross going down, absolutely not. He's played too well this week for him to warrant going down. So he certainly was not going down in my mind. I want to go up on Ross so badly because I'm so like I love that he's thinking ahead and he's thinking ahead smartly too. He just doesn't anticipate season 3 aiming for him because in their eyes, and rightfully so, they aren't the head of the snake. But it doesn't matter what actually is happening. It matters what.
Someone needs to fill them in. Like, it's so frustrating.
And I hope and pray that Aaron is that person. Aaron Donaher, hear me now and do it. Give you an 8. Please be happy with that and do what we want. But anyway, Ross, like going up on him, I want to so badly. But season 3 is coming for him and Bella's head. And if they somehow win a double HOH, which again, going into this comp, isn't the craziest scenario to happen, I worry for him.
Yeah.
So I have to keep him on the same playing field that I have Bella and David on right now, and that's to keep him at a 6. I think there's a good chance he stays. And I hope to raise his rating there because he's been at this average 5-6 rating for I think almost the whole game.
5, 6.5, 6.
Because he's such a good player, but that's also why he's there because people are targeting him.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so those are the ratings for the week. At the top of the leaderboard, we have freaking James. Which, like, I have to say, I'm not even annoyed at James. Like, I'm really not.
We gave him those rankings. I don't know why you're saying it like that.
Huh?
I said we gave him those rankings. I don't know why you're saying it like that.
Yeah, I know. James is playing such an impressive game. It's just impressive. It's very impressive. I'll say impressive again. It's impressive.
At some point, it's gonna.
I hope it does, but I hope it doesn't happen soon. Like, I want to see him. Like, he's put in the work. I want to see James go far.
I definitely have a ton of people that I would love to see go pre-jury. He's not one of them.
Yes, me too. Also up there, the queen, the icon herself. It's Erin Donaher.
And that's pretty much it for the top.
That pretty much is it for the top. Third place, you have Anthony Vendresca. But, like, in my opinion, Aaron and James are both on, like, a full step above Anthony Vendresca. But those are currently the top 3. In last place, it's been a long time coming, Juliet Morgan. I'm sorry, I'm so mean. I'm sorry, but you've done nothing. It's just a lot of talking to people when it's convenient, and people aren't gonna do that, especially after this big group wakes up, which you still don't know exists. I forget that she's not in on it. It's like, I will say, like, I'm hoping if Juliet goes this week, that going to next week, they can't execute the same plan because they don't have their pawn that they can just use. So they'll either have to be ballsy and nominate a season 3 person, and they're all comp threats, or they will have to nominate 2 of their own and hope they win the veto. Like, there's no way that they can do the exact same plan again. And that's what I'm hoping starts some fights and breaks them up. Like, please. Also on the lower end of the spectrum, second to last, Luke, that is very much deserved. Like, Luke, you're not as good as you think.
And that's also like it.
And you need to think it up. Yeah, I'm not even gonna put anyone else in this. I mean, like, I guess the other spot would be Julia, but like Julia doesn't deserve to be in the bottom.
Everyone's very middle this week.
In all honesty, the only reason she's there is because she's on the block and could theoretically go home.
There's a lot of people in that 4 to 6 range right now.
Yeah, it is very middle heavy. Yeah. And I'm sorry, that's
which is very different from last week. No, like, a few people were in the 4 to 6 range.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I'm sorry, but I feel like that's testament to the season. Like, I feel like so many people are just playing bleh games. And
it'll pick up.
If you're not in danger of going home, but you're not playing, you're going to be in the 5
spot. This is how All-Star, like, it's understandable. This is how All-Stars play. You can't, like...
No, exactly. I can't necessarily blame people. I'm just saying that it's boring.
We will see. All right, well, the evictions tomorrow, Juliet versus Julia.
Juliet versus Julia. And next week, which is going to be very interesting, is we're giving our ratings for the past week, but we also have to account that 2 people are going home.
Oh,
So it's gonna be
you're
like
just gonna spoil that?
we talked about that the double eviction is coming next week. I thought.
Oh yeah, we would have revealed it in the Julie segment at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
I do think that it's gonna change. Like, I think next week it is likely that we do see a season 3 backdoor unless they win. But I think the double.
And the double's only one HOH.
I pray that the double shakes up the game. If not, welcome to my funeral. I'm just gonna die.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is all. Eviction tomorrow.
I wish James on the top.
Crazy things can happen tomorrow. I have no doubt that this is definitely the most up in the air eviction, I think.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, what eviction would you put most?
Okay. Most up in the air. Sure, but we're dealing with the 2 unanimous.
What? That's exactly what I said.
But I'm saying the bar was set so low before. Like, I wouldn't necessarily call this eviction up in the air. Is it the most out of the 4?
It's the most up in the air. That's
okay, but that's not what you meant. You meant it's kind of up in the air.
I think it is kind of up in the air. I think.
I don't know.
I think it won't be up in the air tomorrow night, but I think going into tomorrow night and tomorrow and tonight, it could be. It's gonna come down to what if Anthony and Aaron both say that they can flip it. They think they can flip it.
Yeah, but I think they both give it up.
But we'll see. That's what I'm saying. It's up in the air as they don't know what they're doing.
Let me look.
Everyone else after the veto meeting, everyone knew which way they were voting for the past 3 evictions. So that is all. All right, thank you for watching, everyone. We'll see you on Friday. Friday.
Or Saturday. We'll
see. We'll see.
For next eviction
rankings week 5. Anything can happen next week. We will see.